Welcome back, Dynasty Degenerates. Today, we have another trade review video for you. I am actually in the middle of a startup right now, so I am locked in on Dynasty. We're going to talk values. Most of these trades that I've compiled today are ones that I've seen from the Discord in the last week that I thought were smash accepts. So today, we're going to be talking about deals that hopefully, if they ever cross your inbox or your league mates are interested in deals like these, you are going to come out on the winning side. We've got a ton more of these on the way. If you're looking for your chance to submit your trades or your trade proposals for my review and feedback from my awesome community, go ahead and click the Discord link in the description of this video so that you can join the Discord for free and be a part of the awesome Dynasty Price Check community that we are growing. Again, we are still launching 9 more listener leagues. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a startup right now, but we have 9 more listener leagues happening this offseason. If you want to be a part of one of these listener leagues and play alongside me and my awesome community, go ahead and hop in that Discord. Send me a direct message in there that says Listener League, and I will get you guys on the list so that we can start drafting. Thank you so much, and let's dive right in. The first trade we got on the screen here is Breece Hall and Chris Olave on one side for the 2026 105, 203, and 204. And if you guys know me, you know where I'm going on this one. It is absolutely the Chris Olave and Breece Hall side. Chris Olave gave you a top 10 wide receiver finish here. Moore obviously wants to hyper target him in this offense, get the ball to the best player. That is Chris Olave. Now, I know some people might have a tiny bit of reservation on Chris Olave right now after the concussion concerns from the last couple of years and then a blood clot issue right here at the end of the season, which definitely was not a good thing to see. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all for you guys. All being considered, at only age 25, about to sign a sizable extension, in my opinion, and still being wildly talented, I'm not going to let the health concerns skew my judgment here. This is a free Breece Hall. Like the 105, 203, 204, I'd say that's pretty fair value for Chris Olave in general. At this point, you're basically getting a free Breece Hall. Breece Hall is going to sign an extension this offseason, whether that be with the Jets or somewhere else. He's going to get a massive value boost if it's somewhere else, not in New York. Regardless, we don't need to beat a dead horse on this one. It is the player's side. Do not get too much rookie fever. Now, the next trade here, again, is going to be involving a couple future picks. But on one side, we got Jared Goff and a 27 first-round pick. And on the other side, we got Chris Godwin, Jordan Love, and Kayshon Boutte. For me, guys, again, this is a smash except for the left side. Jared Goff and a first. Absolute winner here. Now, I know the Detroit Lions had a little bit of a slow year this year, missing the playoffs. They fired, obviously, their offensive coordinator and are bringing in a new guy over from Arizona. For everybody that doesn't like that hire, I think it actually might be a little bit better than you think. I'm not saying it's a fantastic one. It's just maybe not as bad as the media is portraying it right now. All that being considered, we are getting Jared Goff, who still finished as a top 12 quarterback this year, regardless of a down year for the Lions on offense. You're getting a 27 pick and obviously a class that is being hyped up into oblivion. Whether I agree with that analysis or not, it doesn't matter. That's what the market perception and the value is going to be. Those picks are only going to rise in value. Now, while Jordan Love is sure about 6 years younger than Jared Goff, and yes, has contract insulation in Green Bay, I don't see his ability to outscore Jared Goff being something that's actually realistic. I think they're right in the same range of scoring outcomes. You're just making this as an age move. For me, I don't see the reason to. I still think that Jared Goff's going to give you at least 3 more years of solid fantasy production. I'm not thinking too far into the future from a dynasty standpoint here. I don't need to set myself up for the next 10 years. I just need to set myself up for the next 3 years with the best probability to win, and adding another high caliber player of a 27 first is going to give me more ability to do so than a guy like Chris Godwin and Boutte would. Both guys that at this point, I think Godwin probably still can be a relevant flex for you next year, but is never really going to give you that true wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 upside that he was in before. And Kayshon Boutte, yeah, he flashed. Incredible catch in the playoffs here with that one-hander, but not a fantasy asset that I'm wildly excited about picking up. I do think that the Patriots address their wide receiver room a bit this offseason. Smash except for the left side. The next one we have here is Slightly different than what we were seeing before. We've got Chase Brown, Ladd McConkey, and a 28 first-round pick on the left side for Christian McCaffrey, Chris Godwin again, and the 308 in this 2026 draft. For me, that 308 means very little. Chris Godwin, again, a flex-worthy guy, but isn't moving a huge needle for me. To me, this is a smash except for the left side. And I know CMC just finished as the top asset in football, giving you over 400 touches this year, probably won you your leagues. I do expect him to come back and obviously still be wildly productive next year. He's not declining yet. The only issue is, as we've talked about with guys like Saquon Barkley before, and you witnessed happen in real time this year, after you have so many touches and are the true focal point of an offense, it is hard to replicate that, especially for a guy like Christian McCaffrey, who has had injury issues throughout his career. I'm not saying that it's going to happen for sure. It's just that I like hedging my bet here, selling as high as I possibly can on CMC, and bringing in a guy in Chase Brown, Ladd McConkey, and an extra first-round pick is an incredible haul. I am smashing that side of the deal. In fact, the new hire for Los Angeles and bringing in Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator, I think does wonders for Ladd McConkey. Let's not forget how good he made Tua Tagovailoa look, how productive he made Tyreek Hill over the years. And now, sure, I know the archetype is different. Ladd McConkey is not Tyreek Hill. All to be said, healthy offensive line coming back, elite play caller coming into the building. I think Ladd gets a nice value boost this offseason here, and if you can still buy him on the low, he's probably entered a range of a buy for me, although even a few weeks ago he was a sell. This is how quick the dynasty market can move, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and staying up to date, as our opinions will be changing as the market moves this offseason. The next trade we have to go over here is what I call a gross overpay for the offseason hype train. And when I talk about the offseason hype train, let's talk about a guy like Alec Pierce. You've heard me say on this channel, and I'll stand by it, I like Alec Pierce as a dynasty buy. I like him a lot. 25 years old, led the league for the second straight season in yards per catch, absolutely has been underutilized to some degree in Indianapolis, could rise up to be a solid wide receiver too for you. He finally finished within the top 30 this year. Now, next year, could he finish inside the top 20 with the right landing spot and a potential higher target share? Absolutely. Absolutely within the realm of possibility, especially after when he signs a deal. He's going to get a nice dynasty spike here. All that being considered, I'm still not even paying a first for Alec Pierce. I'm not. And this trade to me screams guys that are watching videos online, guys that are understanding that creators are going to put a certain level of hype behind these players, and misunderstanding what even guys like me are saying out there, that Alex Pierce is a buy. Well, Alec Pierce is a buy, but not for this price. He's not even worth a first still in my mind. If I can send the 203 and a little bit of change for Alec Pierce, maybe like the 203 and Nick Chubb, or the 203 and Kayshon Boutte, like we were talking about before, that's a price I'm fine paying for Alec Pierce. But I'm not paying this kind of price. And Parker Washington, again, another example. A nice offseason buy for those that are playing in deeper formats, maybe a start 10, maybe a start 11 league, most of the formats that I set up for our listener leagues. Sure, Parker Washington might be a flex-worthy guy for you. Absolutely. He actually showed spurts of genuine excitement this year. That all being considered, Parker Washington is not even worth an early second, let alone a first. And if we look at the other side of this deal, you're getting the 110 in this year's draft, and you're getting a 27 first, which, as we already talked about and have covered comprehensively on this channel, those picks are going to rise up to a degree of value that I don't think we've seen draft picks in the past. The hype train already behind this class is only going to continue to rise as we start assigning some players next year to these draft picks and start getting owners massively excited to buy them. Regardless, this is a smash except for the left side. I think this is highway robbery. As you can see, as I zoom out, this was an accepted trade. Even crazier. It's not like this is some random proposal. I think if you can get any sort of haul for these guys because the offseason hype train has started on them, you are doing it. Let's move on to the next trade. I've beat this one to death. The next trade we have here is actually an interesting one, because talk about offseason hype trains and guys that are getting nice little value spikes. Malik Willis is one of them. Right? The chatter has started. Malik Willis is going to get paid in free agency here. He might even be a starting quarterback next year. Whether I entirely agree with that, I am somewhere in the middle. Now, I do understand we're in a very quarterback needy landscape right now, and that guys like Mac Jones are absolutely going to be on the trade block and probably become a starter next year. Malik Willis is one of those guys that I don't think is as good as Mac Jones. I don't think has shown enough to be a true NFL starter yet. Now, I do think that a quarterback needy organization, maybe even like the Vikings, if they can create the amount of cap space they need to bring him in as competition with JJ McCarthy, could be a thing. Maybe he could land with the Indianapolis Colts and say, until Daniel Jones comes back, you can compete for this room, and maybe we'll extend you beyond that. Now, I'm not saying that that's outside the realm of possibility. It's absolutely there. However, I do think the train has left the station a little bit on this one, and people are already kind of assuming that Malik Willis is for sure going to be a starter somewhere. That I'm a bit more skeptical on. Now, all that being said, we're talking about the 205 and the 303. Not exactly premium assets. As you guys are probably already aware, this class, although I like it more than most people, isn't wildly deep, meaning that outside the first round, I'm probably not wildly high on accumulating too many of these picks. Now, the 205 is still a fine pick. I'm not going to lie. I know people are down on this class. There will be swings to be made at the 205. All that being considered, if you are a quarterback needy team and this is a super flex league, I am going to take the Malik Willis side simply by the fact that if he does sign somewhere that is slightly intriguing or looks like he has the chance to be a starter, I do think at that point you'll be able to flip him for a significant haul that is better than the 205. That's why I'm doing it. This looks like more of a chance for a market value flip trade for you to print liquidity in the future rather than being like, I love buying Malik Willis. I hope he's my starter. I think that's a little bit too far. I don't think that even if you're hoping that Malik Willis is the starter, you're probably not in a position that you're either contending or you're really just rolling the dice for some level of swing trade in the future. On to the next trade. We got a crazy final trade for you here, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so everyone can see what I see. This is on one side the 2028 first round pick, a 303 in this year's draft, a 205 in this year's draft, a 204 in this year's draft, a 113 in this year's draft, a 105 in this year's draft, and the 203 in this year's draft. And again, as you see with the 113, this is a 14-man league that it was submitted from. And on the other side, we have Patrick Mahomes and Puka Nacua. And I should say, and as is relevant with all trades, this is extremely format dependent. As I mentioned, this is a 14-man league, so of course it's going to be a bit deeper, and I have been told that this is even a start 10 league, so we are talking extremely deep format out here. Now, that all being considered, I can understand that draft picks might hold higher weight because the ability to fill out your deep roster. Regardless, this is a smash except for the left side. And getting Mahomes and Nacua for this price is simply highway robbery. Now, there's a lot of guys out there in Dynasty that say Puka's worth 3 firsts. I don't disagree. I think Puka is worth 3 firsts. Now, can you get someone to pay 3 firsts for Puka on the open market or in your league economy? That's an entirely different story. Because what Puka is worth is what your league's willing to pay for him, right? And I think people get that confused in Dynasty all the time, where they say, this player is worth this value. No, wrong. This player is worth the value that your league mates assign to him and are willing to give up for him. Now, all that being considered, this is a free Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I would pay the 105, the 113, and a 28 first for Puka if I was a contending roster or somewhere in the middle, unequivocally. Now, adding Patrick Mahomes on top of this deal, who is also probably worth 2 firsts minimum in a superflex format, is crazy. Because these second-round picks don't equate to nearly enough value for me to get to Patrick Mahomes. All that being said, if you have anybody in your league that is potentially like the person receiving the right side of this deal, who's a little pick crazy and sees a massive haul of picks and starts to get overly excited, then these are the type of offers we want to be sending them. Now, I don't think these offers go through in most leagues. In fact, they wouldn't be accepted in any of mine. But these are still good examples to run past. And this was a nice short video for you guys to understand what winning a Dynasty trade looks like. I think all the sides that I highlighted and that I would take today are clear winners. If you were looking to win your trades this offseason, maybe copy some of these offers, okay? And hope that you get lucky, that your league mates are going to smash accept and not dive too deep into them. With all that being said, guys, we got a ton more on the way for you. I am starting a new series on this channel that I'm really excited about called the Tier Up and Tier Down series. I know a lot of creators and some of you guys even talk to me about what is a tiering up trade, what is a tiering down trade, what does it look like, what are some good examples of it. I think a lot of people allude to them and not a lot of people assign real exact examples to them. So I'm going to start a series on here so you guys can see exactly what I mean when I say let's tier down from Puka Nacua. Well, give me a package that you'd be comfortable with. I'd be comfortable with Garrett Wilson and 227 firsts. That's what I'd be comfortable with. There's a little preview for you for the series upcoming. We've got it on the way. We're going to get mock drafts again this week. I just reviewed a real Dynasty startup yesterday, so go check that out on the channel if you haven't seen it already. Like I said, we are launching startups each and every week with you guys, the listeners. If you want a chance to be a part of them, make sure you join the Discord. If you feel so inclined to support me further, check out the Patreon. It's also linked in this video. We are thrilled and so incredibly thankful for all the support you guys have been given on the channel. And if you got other ideas of things you want me to talk about or your chance to submit trades and rosters to be reviewed, please go ahead. Let me know. Join the Discord. I'm happy to oblige and make this the best channel we can be for you guys and help you as much as possible this offseason. With all that being said, thanks for sticking along. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next one and wish my Seattle Seahawks good luck this weekend against the Los Angeles Rams. All right. See you guys in the next one.